Problem M.1.9 is a trigonometry problem. So we're finally going to use our trigonometry strategy, which is SOHCAHTOA. And I'll explain what this is in a second, but I just want to make sure we understand when we know to use this strategy. We're going to know to use this strategy because we are given a right triangle with sides. One side is missing. And we are also given this word cos, which actually means cosine. So a way to know to use this strategy is whenever you have a right triangle, all right, a right triangle, and you have an angle that either you are given or you are looking for, and you are given one or two sides, and you are asked to find the missing side. So remember, we have our, we're going to label our triangle ABC over here. Now the so part of this strategy means the sine. And so what that means is that the sine of this angle X is equal to the opposite, which is in this case, this opposite side A divided by the hypotenuse. So that is opposite, which I'm going to designate as OPP, divided by hypotenuse. And in this particular case, it's going to be A divided by C. So the sine of X, the sine of angle X, is equal to the opposite side A divided by the hypotenuse of this triangle C. Now the ca stands for cosine, and that means that the cosine of this angle X is equal to the adjacent. Adjacent means right next to. So it's going to be the adjacent side divided by the hypotenuse. And in this particular situation, the cosine of X is equal to the adjacent side, which is B divided by the hypotenuse, C. And the last part of this strategy, the TOA, stands for tangent. So we're going to say over here that the tangent of an angle is equal to the opposite side divided by the adjacent side. So that's the opposite side divided by the adjacent side. And so in this particular situation, the tangent of angle X is equal to the opposite side, which is length A, divided by the adjacent side, which is length B. Now this strategy can be applied to this problem because we are asked for the cosine and we are given a right triangle with a missing angle and some sides. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the ca part of this strategy because we're being asked for the cosine. So remember that ca stands for cosine is equal to adjacent over the hypotenuse. And so we're talking about the cosine of Z, which is right over here. We're talking about this angle in the triangle. The cosine of that angle Z is equal to the adjacent, 4, divided by the hypotenuse, 5. So that equals the adjacent 4 divided by the hypotenuse, 5. And since we're given these two numbers, we can simplify them and put them in our calculator. 4 divided by 5 is equal to 0.8. So the cosine of Z is equal to 0.8, and that corresponds with letter choice D. So in order to successfully answer any of these questions, you need to memorize this strategy, SOHCAHTOA.